Hello, children. How are you today? Hope you're all staying safe at home and hope you're all doing your work on time. If you're not doing your work on time, you know what is going to happen. You will have lots and lots of work to finish. So please be very regular and consistent with your work. Consistency, what you do consistently, you sit at whatever time you have the timetable given to you. During that time, finish your work. Before you sit for your online classes, finish your homework and your notes. So complete those notes, whatever the teachers are telling you, they can't tell that to you in class. So you have to watch all the online classes and finish it. You have your ambitions. Yes, you want to grow up and become doctors, engineers, nurses, or whatever it is. If you have to do that, you have to study. For that, you have to finish your work. So, all these people who are working now, those who have jobs, they are all they have all finished their work on time. They were listening to their parents. Your parents have sent you to school. Now, don't waste their money. If you waste your parents' money, you're wasting your money. So, you must finish your work. All the online classes, complete it. All of it. And speak in English. Are you all speaking in English? Hope you are all speaking English. I know you are all good children and you will listen. Okay. So now let's come to the next chapter. Second chapter, second part. That is which chapter we were at? At the library, second chapter. Okay. Let's come to the second part. So when you're using these words to talk about your favorite author or book, we will use the word bestseller, interesting, gripping, mystery, non-fiction, page turner, comic book, exciting, humor, fiction, thrilling, biographical, short stories, must read, folktale. You listened to the previous last class, we had listened to a video. We watched the two friends, they were talking about and how these are some of the words they were using. So whenever you are talking to somebody, you need all the words. If not, you won't be able to speak fluently. So for that, find out the word meanings and I want you to write those word meanings on the page in your exercise book. So we'll come to the word meaning in the next class. By then, I want you to find out from the dictionary. Take the dictionary and write down the word meaning for this. I'm not going to ask you again. Please complete your work when I tell you to do that. Okay? So let's come to the next one. That is some of the tips. Sorry, it's not the tips. It's about the tips are there at the side. Before that, we are going to read this list of rules to follow in a library. You are to form small groups and discuss the usefulness of these rules. You can also suggest new rules that you think would be useful. So, rules of the library. 1. Repeat after me. Rules of the library. 1. Do not carry bags inside. Leave your bags on the rack outside the library. 2. Do not damage or dog-ear the books. What is dog-ear? That is folding the book pages of the books to mark it. Always use a bookmark. Do not use. If you're going to, what is dog-ear? Do you know how it looks like when you're? I'll show you. Dog-earing is when you are taking the book like this, and when you're reading it, you are going to fold it like this. This is dog ear. You're going to spoil the book page. So don't dog ear. If you want to do something, you must keep a bookmark and don't fold the pages. Okay. Next one. The next one is do not eat or drink inside the library. When you're eating inside the library, what happens? It will spill on the floor or on the books and it's going to spoil that. Next one. Repeat after me. After choosing the book that you want to borrow, get it issued by the librarian. Meaning, whenever you have a book and you'll want that book, you must go and issue it. That means you have to write it down. The librarian is going to write the date you are taking it and the date you have to return it, the name of the book, the number of the book, the catalog, everything will be noted down. So it's very important when you take books, you should return it back on time. If not, it's just like stealing. Do smart people steal things? No, you don't like anybody stealing your stuff. Don't steal other stuff either, right? Because when you steal, what happens? Whatever you are taking from somebody, it sits and cries there. Who sees that? God sees that. You're taking somebody else's stuff. If you keep it with you, it cries and God sees it. Then you won't get what you are supposed to get. Because this thing is sitting and crying. Yes, so don't steal. So when you borrow something, return it back, give it back. Okay, that is one of the important things. Same thing goes with library books. Whenever you take a book, return it on time or it's going to cry. So you cannot borrow reference books. The fifth one, repeat after me. You cannot borrow reference books, read them, or take notes in the library. Reference books are the big books that you have. Reference books are the big books that you have to. It will be like full of the. It's not like fiction or it's not like a storybook. So if you're taking it out, somebody else will want to refer it and get information. They won't be able to. So it's always kept in the library. Nobody can take a reference book out of the library. They have to write the notes from the reference book. You take the reference book, you write down whatever you want, you go out with your notes, you keep this book back. You don't take it outside. So next one, sixth one, leave the books on the reading table after reading. Why do you say that? Do not place them on the shelves or at any other place. Why? Because when you finish reading, you should read it and keep it back on the table. You will not know which place to place it back on the shelf. You take it out. When you go and keep it back in, it's not going to help the librarian. It will be out of order. So you keep it on the table. The librarian will return back to its place. Next one is the seventh one. Carry your library card with you while visiting the library. So that's very important. Whenever you go to the library, if you don't have the library card with you, how can you issue a new book, get a new book? So whenever the librarian needs to issue a book, they need to have your library card. So eighth one, only library books are allowed inside the library. Can you take other books inside the library? Then there's no place for other books because library books are to be read in the library. Next one, grammar guide. We are going to discuss the rules. We can discuss the rules like this. Why do we dash? So whenever we are having, why do we not take the reference book out of the library? It helps to. You will reply back, it helps to. Example, why do we need this rule? It helps to maintain silence in the library. Next one, is it? Example, is it necessary to get a library card? So you can answer yes, it is. Otherwise, you will not be allowed to borrow library books. Which rule is? So the example is given. Which rule is the most important for a library? In my opinion, this is the way you can discuss something. So in my opinion, the most important rule is to return books on time and in undamaged condition. So come to the next.
Listen to the words and repeat them. Pay attention to the sound of the letters marked in red for each word in your book.
Open, option, opinion, mop, operate, hop, top, sloppy, a lot, plot, otter, shot, until, untidy, 100, hunter, huge, refuge, deluge, fugitive.
Now listen to the audio track carefully. Mark the words that are pronounced incorrectly.
The sloppy mop under the hug top was oogly. The hunter shot the boon with his toy goon. The huge hunter blew on a big bugle.
Listen to a few friends talking about their favorite books and authors. Form small groups and discuss your favorite books and authors. You may choose from the options in the box or add your own.
This is a really good bookshop. It has got all my favorite authors.
Really? Which authors do you like the most?
I like Oscar Wilde, William Shakespeare, and Charles Dickens.
I also like Charles Dickens and William Shakespeare. What about you, Ankita?
I like Roald Dahl.
And Rabindranath Tagore. I like Shakespeare too.
Look, there is a book by Premchand. My father is a huge fan of Premchand.
I like his stories too. This is a lovely bookshop.
Yes, I like it too.
So when we want to get information from someone, repeat after me please. When we want to get information from someone, we can ask questions using the what words. What kind of books do you like? Who are your favorite authors? Which book did you like reading the most? Why? Which book are you reading these days? So these are this is how you ask questions. Now come to the last page. We are coming to the last. That's a fun activity. I want you to go through this fun activity, but it's very important. Not a fun activity actually. It's very important. So
Listen to a speech by the former President of India, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, about building a personal library at home.
I also suggested all the parents should start a small library in their own houses with approximately 10 to 20 books to begin with. The library should particularly have 10 children books, half of them, so that the children in the house can also cultivate reading habits at the early stage, looking at the parents reading quality books. TV time can slightly reduce, you don't mind. Dear young friend, please remember, home library is the greatest wealth than any other wealth. Reading and studying habit for 1 hour per day in home library will transform into great teachers, great leaders, great intellectuals, great engineers, great scientists.
okay, students, we have come to the end of the session, and I want you all to listen to that the speech by Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. He was really a very knowledgeable man, and he has given some of the hints that's going to help you. Books are the greatest friends you can have. So let's see how many of you are going to listen to that once more than 4 times. Yes, and I want last year we had written down the speech, and I want you to write down the speech in your the back of your book. I want all of you to write down the speech here. Notes. Did you see this? Notes. Yes, write it down there. I want you. We'll be having a correction after this. Okay. So look at the homework. The answer keys are given. So till next class. God bless you. Take care. Bye. God bless you all.